Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go, let's go. Ow, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Let's go, let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News. Let's go. Hey, let's start this show. Let's go, let's go. Oh, let's start this show.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, crew. Good morning, crew. Listen, happy Monday. Happy March 6th. I'm glad we're back. There's so much stuff for us to get to talk about today. So much stuff for us to talk about. So many things to go over. We got local news, quickies and rumors, and hot topics. Listen, first, before I begin, I want to say at the top of the hour, within the first 5 minutes, thank you for being here. Listen, I am not naive, nor am I slow or dumb. There's a lot of people live right now, especially a lot of people who are subscribed to me and others. There's a lot of them live right now. I appreciate you for coming through, listening to me, dipping in, dropping in the comments. And if you have to dip out, I understand it. But I just want you to know that I appreciate it. I know how it is. I know how this stuff goes. I get it. But King Roman will do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. He will not stand you all up. I will definitely come live in the morning. Nothing stops me unless I'm falling asleep. So thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for supporting me. I see it. I watch it. I notice who's my day ones, who represent, who come through. Check out the news. Get into some topics. And all likes matter. If you know you just now here rolling through, please hit that like button for me and up this right now. Good morning, Shay. I see you. Shay in Colorado. Good morning, Brick Girl. Good morning, Bobby. Hey, Jay Parrish. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. And if you ever want to show me some love, you can always do so by sending me a cash app, $ Roman L. Jackson. Everything always goes back to the channel. And I appreciate everything that you guys do, every comment, and every view you give me. Thank you so, so much. Now, without further ado, let's get right into this show today. Well, I got some ashy ink knuckles this morning. Good morning, crew. Good morning. Woo, you close. Good morning, crew. Shout out to the crew. Listen, it is 8:20 a.m. You know, not 6:30 a.m. But I definitely woke up after a long, laborious weekend. Y'all know Eli fucked my ankle up last week, and it wasn't really like it was pain to walk. It was just like it was a cut. And so Saturday, my friend wanted us to do some yard work. He got a big ass backyard. He lives like in up like northern part of DC. So me, Eli, and his dog we was out there doing that and child done fucking cause it to start bleeding again. So I'm sitting right here up with my leg up. I done wobbled around. Then I forgot. I'm home last night, whatever, park my car. I forgot they doing construction. So that means everybody gotta stop parking there at 7 a.m. till like 5 p.m. So I'm sitting down to start my live. I look out the window because I hear the like they backing up to tow people. I'm like, fuck. So what do? I hop up like I forgot I had a whole cut in my leg. Run to the door, done fuck my leg up again. So as I'm getting ready, I'm like, let me wrap this bitch one more time. So I done wrapped it again. So I'm here. I'm here. I'm learning my lesson, y'all. I'm learning my lesson. Eli's learning his lesson. His door is closed and my door is closed. Moving forward, we're not gonna be doing none of that. Shout out to the crew. Thank y'all for being here. It's 13 people here now. I appreciate the love and support. Like I said, I know it's a lot of people live, a lot of things going on this morning, but I will be here for you all just so you can check it out on a replay and so you know what's going on. And shout out to my day ones. I thank y'all for being here. Before I start, it's the beginning of the week. I want to kick it off with a quote. And the quote I have is very simple and sweet. I am choosing and not waiting to be chosen. And it's so perfectly fit. I am choosing and not waiting to be chosen. Never let yourself be someone's option. Always be in a position where you can control that relationship, professional, anything you in. And I'm taking this from my own advice. There have been many a times, even professionally, where I did not rely on my merits. I did not rely on my wits and what I know. And I allowed myself to be an option instead of standing up saying, hey, I'm way better than that. And, so I wanted to share that with you all. Take it for however you want to take it and apply it. I need to start putting these back on my community wall. I used to like when I used to be able to go back through my timeline and see the different quotes. So I'll try to get better at putting this on my community wall today. Oh no. Yes, baby. Yes, I'm me too. Hey, Jay Parrish, yes, indeed. Amen. Hey, Risa, good morning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, Risa. Thank you so much. All right, so let's just go ahead and dive right into it this morning. No announcements. We're just gonna go right into local. So the first story in local news I want to talk about is I don't know if y'all have heard about Tulsa City, Oklahoma, and what's been going on out there, but they have recently rammed a lot of bills throughout their Senate and their House, basically around LGBTQ community. How one of the bills that they just recently pushed out was that no public dollars can go to facilitating gender therapy, gender surgeries for any individuals who identify as trans. So that recently passed in their house. And so because of that, a lot of the LGBTQ citizens in the community, they've been feeling ostracized. They said they feel like they're going to be attacked and you're singling us out. And guess what that means? And a lot of people don't like to admit this, but I'm going to say it here. Gays pay. Okay. They will buy stuff, they will consume stuff, they'll make it hot, they'll make it preppy. I don't care what people say. Yes, they are a very much so target demographic for a lot of businesses. And so what you're finding is Tulsa's like, hold up now, wait, hold up, hold up, hold up. Okay. We got to reaffirm this. So Tulsa City in their council city meeting, and I thought this was just so funny. Now look, oh, it's a activity detected. He must be in there moving around. I was going to say, now look, it's too early. The Tulsa City Council approves resolution designating Tulsa as a welcoming city. Now you would think this would be cool. Like, okay, it's just a resolution. It's nothing like a law or an ordinance. It's just literally a resolution. We're saying that Tulsa City is an inclusive city. Now let's look at because this right here got the whole fucking council meeting. It literally divided people just because the city said they wanted to be inclusive. And it wasn't that. We're going to dig deeper. So the bill was this, and I'm going to read just this small language. It says this: a resolution of the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma, designating the city of Tulsa a safe, inclusive, and welcoming community, and reaffirming the city of Tulsa's commitment to fostering a safe, inclusive, and welcoming city for all Tulsans, visitors, and businesses, regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression. Baby, they had a fit for those last three words. of sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression. They felt like it should have just said fostering a safe, inclusive, and welcoming city for all Tulsans, period. And so it was crazy because then people were like, why do we have to make it safe for everyone? I don't think our city should be safe for everyone. We should definitely be choosing who we want to come here. I'm sitting here looking like, now, bitch, hold up now, ho. I see where you're going with this. Then you had some folks come up there. I mean, I was just taken back by some of the women that I saw come up there. This language is damaging. If you can say it's safe for them, why not for these other folks? Well, bitch, y'all not, ain't nobody causing no problem to y'all. And you can explicitly see who and what they were talking about. So I want y'all to check this out. Now, you know, check this clip out. This is the meeting, right? This is the beginning of the meeting, and you can hear the lady say, okay, we're opening it up to community comments. So the community goes up there. Now, this video captured clips of everyone. Get the tone of how everybody feels about a bill that says we want to be inclusive for everyone. If this doesn't let you know that you have a culture where there's homophobia, not even running through the communities, running through the government. Prior to this community session, 2 weeks prior, y'all just passed a bill attacking LGBTQs. And don't forget what's coming up next is the drag shows here. So again, So check this out.
Let's remember that that we are talking about people.
How do people die from not feeling safe? And
suicide.
So do I feel safe in your Tulsa? And how rude.
That's your time. Thank you.
May I say that you're very rude in looking at me like that?
No, you may not. Please sit down.
Resolution needs to be struck. It's very hypocritical, but if I'm laughed at or cheered at, I'll stop and expect my time to pick back up when they're done.
You know, it's my opinion that we don't even need this. I mean, the fact that we even have to have this is disturbing to me at such a guttural level. It's such a dichotomy and paradoxical to me because we should be welcoming and loving and be kind and respectful to everyone.
Word inclusive. This word is inflammatory and it's dangerous to welcome just anything.
We are inclusive already. To me, the pushback on this is more about people feeling uncomfortable about making space for other people who are different than them, but people who are different are also real.
And I never thought I would imagine that in the year 2023 in Tulsa, in our city, we were going to be talking about Molotov cocktails. A small business in Brookside firebombed. Yes, hate crimes are happening in our city.
Under every single one of these listed classes, I am represented. And all of you are represented. That includes your right to have your own personal worldviews, desires, ways of worship. It does not include the right to dehumanize others. It is not a redundancy because my life is not a redundancy.
And that's facts. That's facts, right? So you have this whole council meeting literally on the fact that we want to be inclusive to everyone. People are divided. Don't include that language. Maybe you should leave it at Tulsans. Well, you got just one black man that comes up to the podium and chin checks everybody. And you see why I like this clip? Because when I do this show, and I hate that my chair sits so low, I be feeling like I'm a short nigga, but I'm not a short nigga. It's just that I got a new chair here with a back and it just sits so low. But chin checks everybody. Now, you know why I like it? Because he chin checks the parents. And the reason why this has become a big thing, because 2 weeks prior to this, there was a Molotov cocktail thrown at a gay bar where a drag show was going on. So they're talking about that and saying, we got to stop these hate attacks. We got to be inclusive. We got to be inclusive. You got this black man come up here and saying, hold up, y'all talking about being inclusive. You talking about, he went even deeper. What about my people? I said, okay, come through, uncle. So check him out. And y'all give me a like. Make sure y'all give me a like this morning, please. And thank y'all for being here. Shout out to Voodoo. Shout out to Zap. Thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate the love. Hot Spicy Tea. Hey, babes. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. Listen, we just doing what we always do, which is some news in the morning. Okay?
Next speaker is James Alexander Jr., followed by Kim Goodman.
Good evening, everyone. I am James Alexander Jr. I don't know what world some of these people are living in, but they're not living in this world here. They're somewhere else. There's hate, more hate, and more hate. And the whole United States is a hateful place. We have more guns here than any place else in the world. There's more hate here than any place in the world, especially black people. We are hated by everyone. But I don't care. I'm here. And I'm going to do my thing. And my thing is to straighten up the city of Tulsa. The city of Tulsa has a problem. All you have to do is look north. You have black people that have been moved out of their homes, that they have lived there for centuries. You have people coming in that don't have anything to do with the area. You have new development by people that just trying to make money and saying they're black. We have a problem, Tulsa. A real problem. And calling ourselves a world-class city, that's making us look dumb as hell. We are not a world-class city in any respect of the word. Not a word. Until you get yourself together, until North Tulsa decides that they want North Tulsa, Tulsa is not going to prosper. As far as the school, that's the city of Tulsa, the people that live in Tulsa, that's you not protecting your kids and going to school. You're doing this. That's why the schools are bad. Not because of anything else, because you're not doing your job as parents. Everybody needs to look at where they are and get themselves together. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Alexander. Next speaker, please.
Okay, are there any questions? And at the end of the day, as we're sitting here while they're debating this bill, right? Because remember, I told you that prior to this, they had this HB 2177 House bill where they're banning gender affirming care for trans minors, prohibit public money from going toward any of these procedures, and prohibit insurance from being used on transitional procedures in the state. Now they're cutting all of that, but you still have them having this, we want to be inclusive. And it's like, how do you be inclusive when you're allowing bills to go through the city? And you have him, this man come and actually just sum it up and say, a lot of this is issues from the parents, the community. These are issues, these are questions and conversations you need to be having with your own children about a lot of these either homophobic attacks, the public attacks that are going on in the schools, kids being bullied. What you didn't see, there were several kids that came up there and said they were bullied in their high school for their sexual orientation. So for me, I saw this and I said, there is a deeper question here. And I think he got at the root of it. I do think a lot of times you got to have a conversation at home. And then if you're doing that and you still don't see things are working, then you need to start at the next level. Go to that school, go up the chain. And as a bigger picture, I don't think it's wrong with including sexual orientation in this statement. I don't think that's a problem. Saying that regardless of your sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression, I don't think that's an issue. But I do see it's an issue when that money start flickering away. So shout out to one person only, and that's the last man who got up there and spoke. Shout out to him for summing it up. Now, staying along the lines of all of this hate towards the LGBTQ community we've been facing, specifically my trans sisters, and yes, we're gonna spin a little bit on this. So we had on, I think it was this past weekend, we had Michael Knowles. Okay, he's a CPAC conservative and he's a speaker. And so this past weekend he had a speech and he had a conversation, and he went out there and literally said out his fucking mouth that we need to eradicate trans women. He didn't say anything about trans men, nothing about that. And that's what kills me about most of this hate towards the trans community. It's all directed towards trans women. Rarely do you hear people say anything about trans men, trans women, trans women. And so he goes out here and has this public, he has this public statement. Now, you have two eyes, you have two ears, and you have a brain, just like me. I want y'all to see this clip, because after he said this statement, the man went on further to say, I didn't say that. Literally, I didn't say that. You misquoted me. Bitch, you're on camera recorded at a public event. You didn't say what? Do you know how damaging this is? And y'all stay right there too, because I'm going to tell you how damaging it is after this. You're going to see why. So check this out, crazy ass bat.
Is false, as it is. If men really can't become women, as they cannot, then it's false for everybody too. And if it's false, then we should not indulge it, especially since that indulgence requires taking away the rights and customs of so many people. If it is false, then for the good of society, and especially for the good of the poor people who have fallen prey to this confusion, transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely. The whole preposterous ideology at every level.
Do you know how damaging something like that is saying? Now, one can swap out the word trans and just put in gay. Okay? You can totally swap out trans and put in lesbian. Okay? You can totally swap out trans and put in bisexual. Okay? Do you see how much of a slippery slope that is? And bitch, who the fuck do you think you are to say eradicate somebody? You are just like me. You breathe and you got a heart and you shit and you eat just like you are not above anybody else. I don't understand it. It kills me. Who the fuck do you think you are? Y'all kill me with this shit. All this hate in your heart. I'm telling you, one of you bitches gonna stroke out and I'm gonna be here to talk about it. I really am. And I'm gonna do you some justice too. So we all saw he said that shit. All of us saw that. I just played the clip literally with my own eyes. Saw it. This motherfucker comes out here and says, Michael Knowles is now demanding the media take down claims that he said transgender people should be eradicated, since what he really said was transgenderism should be eradicated. Oh, I'm sorry. What? Transgenderism and transgender should be eradicated? What? You said transgender, first of all. Don't let me play the clip again. But transgenderism is, what are you saying? The act of being a transgender? Are we just putting a possession on it? What do you mean? No, they're both wrong. And you see what's happening. You can't come out here saying that shit because you don't know who among your friends who are conservative, who got family members who are trans, who they support on the low, while you out here trying to push the bill to eradicate somebody. Now you tell me, you God-fearing, you conservative, do you think is that God-like to be out here professing the eradication of people, not based on their mind and how good they are as a person and how much they contribute to society, but because of their sexual orientation and their gender orientation? You got to be fucking kidding me. And that's why I don't listen to half these people. People ask me, do you go to church? No, I study and read on my own. I call my aunt. Half these people I don't even believe. Half, I don't even want to say it, but a lot of people I feel like in church, they believe this. They believe just like this. It's some churches you go by and they'll have a rainbow sign. They'll be open-minded to it. But to tell me that you think to kill people, eradicate, remove, you're going too far. And that's hate. So he goes out and puts this tweet out. This headline is libelous and I demand a retraction. Why? Go ahead and sue. Go ahead and sue. You said it. He got his attorney out here. We are demanding full retractions and apologies from the Daily Beast, Huffington Post, and Rolling Stone for their false and libelous claims about Michael J. Knowles, and have referred all to our general counsel. Again, for the slowest of the slows, it don't matter what you said, bruh. You said what you said.
Is false, as it is. If men really can't become women, as they cannot, then it's false for everybody too. And if it's false, then we should not indulge it, especially since that indulgence requires taking away the rights and customs of so many people. If it is false, then for the good of society, and especially for the good of the poor people who have fallen prey to this confusion, transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely. The whole preposterous ideology at every level.
I'm sorry. At every level. You went too far. You went too far. And let me tell you why he went too far, you all. Let me break this down to you why he went too far. So in Milwaukee, now this happened on February 28th, right? We have a transgender woman. Her name is Cashay Henderson, and you'll see her on the thumbnail. Cashay Henderson, transgender woman. She was 31. She lived in Milwaukee. Now, she went out night on the town with her girls. Went out to a bar, had a good time, came home late in the hours, and next thing you know, the her house was on fire. When the fire police department got there and everyone got there, they found her shot dead. Okay. Now, what happened? What do you say happened? I'm not gonna say what we always think happens, but typically what happens? Trade. So this man just got out of jail. His name is Cordell Hors. Just got out of jail February 28th, released from jail days before the murder of Cashay Henderson, right? So he's out, and as he's out, I'm sure he's looking for something. And they link up, they connect. He comes over, and not knowing, who knows if she shared who she was or not, what that conversation was, whatever it is, it doesn't require her being killed or shot because you brought your ass over there. Remember that. Well, she ends up dead. He ends up found and arrested again, back in jail. Okay? Now, you tell me, Michael Knowles, I'm going to go back up to this man's statement. Pushing for the eradication of transgender and transgenderism. You tell me, people like this guy, do you not think what you're saying to him mobilizes that kind of behavior? Oh, you're nothing. Oh, you're a man? Oh, you're nothing. That's why I said that's dangerous, because there are sick fucks out here who believe that, and they need just one person to back them up. And you're in the spotlight? Bro, that's dangerous. So we have this woman here, Cashay Henderson. All her friends said she was a great individual. She went to the funerals of many trans women who passed away. She's now the 4th trans woman who lost her life in Milwaukee in 2023. Mind you, we're 3 months in. Now I have to say this. I know other stories haven't reported this, but I don't want the crew to come back at me and be like, Roman, what? Now, she was locked up for a stint, an incident that happened in 2011. Cashay Henderson, okay? She was driving intoxicated and she hit someone and she ran from that. That person died. They caught her on camera trying to move his body on the side of the road as she continued. She got arrested. She did some time. She came out. She ended up working with this organization. And she ended up trying to rehabilitate her life. Okay. Change her life around. She was an advocate. She did her time. She certainly, in a sense to what he's done, it didn't call for it. It didn't call for it. Just to innocently because of who you are. So let's get his rap sheet real quick. In 2020, he pleaded no contest to battery and threat. Okay. He was sentenced in October 2021 to serve 18 months in prison and 2 years extended supervision. This is all because he had a threat to a fucking judge. So if he's threatening a judge, what makes you think he won't come out here and threaten anybody else? Whatever. Rest in peace, Cachet. Rest in peace to you, baby. Rest in peace. No one should lose their life. No one should lose their life just expressing and trying to be who they are. And it's a sad story, a sad situation, and it shouldn't happen. And then you got dicks out here like Michael Knowles calling for the eradication. And then you got Tulsa City Council. You got the people in Tulsa City. They so damn divided. We don't know. We just want to say Tulsans. So you see all this built up hate, systemic, government, community. It does cause people to lose their lives. And specifically in this situation are trans women. So I wanted to say her name. Cashay Henderson, I wanted to represent you in this story. There's still so many other stories of trans women losing their lives. It's 4 in Milwaukee. I've only just covered this story. It's 3 others. I might pick those 3 other stories up too so we can talk about it. But I wanted to share that. Now, out of politics, let's move into what the fuck, okay? So, and thank y'all for being here, crew. Thank y'all again. I got to keep reminding y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. And listen, I don't hold anything to my heart. I know it's so many other people live. I know so many other things are going on. It's popping. And a lot of my subscribers are out of those sectors where it's popping. So if you dip in and you dip out and you come back, I just appreciate you dropping down, showing me some love. Roman, I'm here. I'll be back. I'm not like that. I don't hold it against me because I'm always gonna be here. Y'all always can come check the news out. I don't just pop up now and then now. I don't have those kind of things. I'm gonna always be here in the morning to do the news. So y'all always got a morning home here. And shout out to the crew. Thank y'all for holding me down. Okay. Thank y'all for that. I appreciate it. Y'all don't know, but I appreciate it. So let's move on. This next story is, oh yes, I do want to. I do. I'm sorry. I have to do her some justice. I have to. I did have a clip for Cashay Henderson and I wanted to play it. I absolutely do. So y'all check this out.
Third time in 9 months, a black trans woman is killed in Milwaukee.
Firefighters found her inside her apartment Sunday night with a gunshot wound while they were responding to a fire in the unit. Sam Kramer joining us live. And Sam, you spoke with LGBTQ leaders tonight who say they need more community support.
Well, that's right, Ted. One told me that a murder like this only worsens the fear, anxiety, and frankly, overall feeling of being targeted for the LGBTQ community. Tonight, those who knew 31-year-old Cachet Henderson say their hearts are heavy again, knowing whoever did this is still out there.
We have a body coming out too. It's located in one victim.
A day after learning her friend of 10 years died inside her own apartment.
She was just a special girl, just a beautiful heart.
Ladia Nana can only question why. She says she saw 31-year-old Cashay Henderson early Sunday morning after bar close, only to learn she died hours later. Firefighters found her with a gunshot wound while responding to a fire.
She was in her place that's supposed to be a safe haven for her. And it's like you can't even be safe in your own home. It's like the gun violence is that bad in Milwaukee.
Christopher Allen, president and CEO of Diverse and Resilient, says Henderson's murder only adds to the anxiety and vulnerability felt in the LGBTQ community every day.
That discrimination can create environments where they don't feel welcome. They don't feel supported.
Allen says Henderson took part in his organization's programming, which helps LGBTQ people live equitably and safely. He says her death, like those of Brazil Johnson and Regina Maya Allen last year, underscores the need for more support.
It's important that we're affirming them and welcoming them to their spaces so that they can be safe and live their lives.
Hoping the worst can inspire something better.
It's amazing to me how short life can be. 1 minute you're here and the next minute you're really not.
And that's why it's so serious for us to share this stuff and make it so it's a story, make it so people know that, oh, this is a fucking hate crime. We process hate crimes for everything else. We need to start processing. And the more we start letting the black trans women stories go, it's a slippery slope. We start creeping up that creep. And yeah, we already don't do a lot of coverage on black women's stories. And I try my hardest to cover as much as I can. But we still need to include everybody. You talk about inclusivity. Because I wouldn't want me as a gay man, my story to go and swept under the rug. Something happened to me because I'm a black gay man. And so I put myself in the shoes of my community. I put myself in their shoes and I say, that's fucked up. And that's fucked up. That's really fucked up. So, rest in peace, Cashay Henderson. Rest in peace to you. All right, let's get into these crazy stories. So we have this family, okay? They are on a trip in Florida. Okay, they're on a trip in Florida. They brought their kids and they brought their 19-month-old daughter. And, for the most part, it was cool. They put the 19-month-old daughter in a bed. They went to another room and they're laying in the room and the kids are all playing. Nothing's going on. Well, they wake up the next day. They see the baby blue in the face and foaming at the mouth. So they call 911. 911 shows up. And at the time when 911 showed, they couldn't tell anything. Well, after they did an autopsy, come to find out the baby had a lethal dose of fentanyl in her system. And so the family's like, what? How? That's not, we don't even know what that is. Now they're from a whole nother country. They're visiting in the United States. We don't even know what that is. And so, me, that's my first suspicion. What? And so then they go to the Airbnb owner like, look, our 19-month-old daughter has passed away of ingesting fentanyl. we need to know who else was in this bitch before us. So the place hadn't been rented out for 2 weeks, but up until 2 weeks. So the last person 2 weeks ago, they threw a party. And at this party, they did say, yeah, we had cocaine. We had a little cocaine. We had a little stuff, but we ain't had no fentanyl. And so the lady was like, So she contacted Airbnb like, look, here's the situation. And the Airbnb like, man, we're just going to wait for the police to tell us what to do because Airbnb don't want liability. And the situation comes out that Airbnb is liable because they are liable for the cleanup of their property. Now it's on the family's job to prove that the daughter ingested fentanyl at this property. It's such a sad story because they couldn't find, even the detectives, the investigators, they couldn't find no trace of fentanyl in the property at all. So it just leaves you wondering, if they couldn't find it in the property, the party was 2 weeks ago, and they only had cocaine. The family say they never did anything. The other kids are okay. What happened here? And I'm baffled. Normally I have a suspicion like crew. I don't know. I'm baffled like you all. I'm baffled as fuck. So family sues Airbnb after 19-month-old dies from fentanyl in Florida. And these are the parents. And so here's the baby. Precious baby. And so, the cause of death was revealed, a lethal amount of fentanyl in Enora's system. They're from the French island of Guadeloupe in the Caribbean and had never even heard of the drug before. And so what came out in the investigation was the previous renters of the home admitted to throwing a party where there was cocaine present, but nothing that indicated those drugs killed Enora. Neighbors recalled that there was a party about 2 weeks before the family's arrival. So, they took it upon themselves to go ahead and sue Airbnb. The family's attorney told the Washington Post that his clients logically have come to the conclusion that partygoers brought the fentanyl. Identifying who brought the drugs into the home, he said, is not his concern. And so they're suing because they feel like the only thing we have here is our common sense. It was definitely in that unit, that Airbnb, which particular person left the drugs is frankly not anything I'm trying to prove. What I want to show is Airbnb provided no cleanup, no warning, no measure of safety for the family. Now, if anything, this is a lesson, a whole lesson. If you do the whole Airbnb thing, you're going to have to, I don't know if you have to get a red light or some shit, but this is some serious shit. You can ingest fentanyl from off of substances. I'm not too familiar with fentanyl ingestion, but this shit right here is crazy to me. Y'all check this family out and check out what they had to say about this. I feel bad for them. I do feel bad for them. It's just like, who do you hold accountable? Who do you hold accountable in this situation?
A 19-month-old little girl died from apparent exposure to fentanyl while staying at a Florida Airbnb with her family, and now that family wants justice. The parents of Enora Lavenier now suing Airbnb, the property owner as well, the rentals manager, and a previous renter that hosted a party at the unit 2 weeks prior to Enora's death. Investigators have not been able to identify so far where those drugs came from or how they got into the rental property, but a previous renter reportedly told investigators they did throw a party at the location that involved cocaine. Joining us now to discuss this case, Thomas Scalaro, the attorney representing the family. Thomas, thank you for being here.
Good evening. Thank you.
And how horrifying for this family. What exactly did they witness, and why do they think it was fentanyl?
Well, what they witnessed was every parent's absolute worst nightmare. You put your children down for a nap, thinking that they are safe and secure in their bed, all snuggled in, and you go to wake them a couple hours later and you're met with a lifeless body. I can't imagine what they've been through. They did not know initially that this was fentanyl. They were without a clue for a period of time. They thought it was maybe SIDS, sudden death syndrome. It was not until the autopsy report came back and found, yes, positive traces of fentanyl in her system.
Why does the family think Airbnb is responsible here, and what does justice look like for this family?
Well, they think everybody is responsible, and so do I. If you're going to, create a new economy based on this whole sharing platform, and you're out there, posting that houses and these homes are safe for families and children, and you don't do anything about it, yet there's widespread drugs and drug-fueled parties at these things, and something like this happens, you should expect to be sued under the law.
And that's it. I agree. Absolutely bring a lawsuit forward. It's so sad because it's like they had ample time in between 2 weeks to either Airbnb to come and check the property, the owners of the property, and Airbnb to imply, because like you should show that, okay, we had a cleaning company come in, they did clean. Did they say anything? And so to just like leave it up for the people before to clean the unit so they don't get charged a fee, because you know how that goes, is a little bit negligent. And now you got a baby. This 19-month-old baby lost her life. Poor child didn't even know what was going on. And shout out to y'all. I see y'all. I see y'all coming through. I see y'all. Hey, Wildcat, what's going on? He's inciting violence. Hey, Nadine, good morning. Good morning. This reminds me of that trans woman in Milwaukee who was mobbed in a store a few years back. She has a simple fender bender, which resulted in her being attacked by dozens of gutter snipes. Good morning, Wildcat. That is crazy. People are already weary of Airbnb. This makes it worse. I'm definitely weary. I think it was left in a room. I do too. I do think like it was due to the party, but it's like once they leave, they're off the hook. I don't believe they cleaned it properly after the party. Me either. Hey, Mrs. G. Good morning. Good morning. Cash apps and bullshit. That for you, adorable baby. So adorable. So adorable. All right, y'all. So let me ask you this question. If you're a grandparent, uncle, sister, auntie, and you are watching your, relative, niece, daughter, son, cousin, whatever, child, and y'all go into a store, a public store, and the child throws a fit in the store, what are you going to do? It's not your child. This is not your child, but this child is throwing a fit in the store. I mean, knocking shit down. Shout out to Stig's girl who sent the clip in. Knocking shit down, talking back to the grandma, calling her B word, all kind of stuff. What would you do? Now, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you if I was a dad, what I'm going to do. And because the only other situation I know is cousin, uncle. But y'all look at what grandma, which leads me to believe that this is not new. This behavior isn't new. And maybe we're dealing with a child with special needs. Which then I beg the question, why aren't you prepared to deal with this kind of behavior? But that's neither here nor there. Check this out. And y'all hit that like button for me. And I'm going to need y'all opinions. Let me know.
And I'm in Lewisburg. It is always something popping off. Now, I don't know what's wrong with... Oh, my God. No, she need her ass whooped. Because I don't know if it's that her grandma. But, y'all, let me tell you something. I would take that little girl by her neck. What in the world is... She got to be on some medicine. It got to be something wrong with her. Y'all, do you see this? She made this mess, y'all, and they standing there letting her do it. And her grandma gonna have to pay for this. This girl is crazy. Do y'all see this? Oh my God! The last time I was here, a damn car came through the door, and now this little girl in here tearing up, and her grandparents letting her do it. I would not hurt the boy. Oh my God, y'all. Baby, give me the permission. Give me the permission, baby, honey. I will knock that purple shirt off her. You heard me? Oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all better get. Oh my. Y'all better get. Who do she belong to? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh no, darling.
Now y'all watch this black lady who entered the store in the back. Watch her whole facial reaction right now. Here she come with her car. Watch her. Watch this lady.
Oh my God. But where is her? Where is her parent, y'all? Y'all better get the authorities out here, boy. I would beat the boy.
Child. And I felt bad for the grandmother because she obviously was like caught off guard, trying to show some constraint for this baby. But honestly, some kids need they need there needs to be a level of discipline that lets their child know that this behavior is not okay. For real, you definitely need to know this is not okay. I don't care, or either you're not going to the store no more. You would have got no toys that day. You damn near wouldn't have. You probably would have had only carrots for lunch for dinner. Are you kidding me? That was so disrespectful. So then I look at, okay, mom, dad, grandma, parent. So when this normally happens at home, what do? Is there a timeout? Is there a what? Grab them by the hand? Because your little ass ain't grabbing me back. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Ain't no way I'm scared of you. You throwing shit, you throw it at me. See, that fear wasn't there. And it just leads you to believe like, wow, what's going on? And you heard the lady on the camera, give me permission. I'm back here cracking up at her. I'm like, what? The last time she came there, it was a car that went through the Walmart. Now you come there, you got a baby throwing a fit. Now, here's the slippery slope, crew. Time and time again, we see kids that do this kind of stuff and get away with it tend to likely become one of our stories. I'm not saying all the time, but there's always some lesson that creeps up like, all right, we got to rear this behavior now before she get older and be coming and rob Walmart. Fuck it. And break into Walmart. I felt really bad for the grandmother. I did. And I don't ever think I did my uncle like that one time. I didn't want to go home. And I was at my cousin's house. He pulled up and he came and got me and my brother. And I was just screaming outside, crying, throwing a fit. People were looking. And he got out the truck to come and grab me and put me in. I'm just kicking my legs, screaming and throwing a fit. And I got in the truck. He must have told my TT when I got home, and I got in trouble. And he was in the car. You act like I'm touching you or doing something to you or something. I'm so embarrassed. And I'm sitting here looking like I didn't want to. I was having fun. I didn't want to. I didn't want to leave. I threw a fit. I bet you I didn't throw a fit again. I bet you that didn't happen to me again. I bet you there's no other story out there in the world that I threw a fit the way I threw a fit that day. I mean, I was just bawling, flat out on the ground, kicking. Family came out, what's wrong with you? And they're looking at him like, and I felt so bad afterwards. And when I got older and we talked about it, I told him, I said, I remember that day vividly. I remember you pulling up in your pickup truck and I'm looking like, I do not want to go. And I kept telling him I'm not going. He kept saying, it's time to go. And I'm like, I called my auntie. I'm not going. I'm not going. But see, that was a lesson for me. This girl, she needs a lesson. I don't care what age, she needs a lesson. You need to get that. Yeah, honey, we'd have been in that car and it wouldn't have been moving. I'd have been back there. Don't you ever, you lost your mind. Don't you, what? You have to. You got to dig into, you got to put the fear of Jesus in some of these motherfucking kids. I swear, all I see is her carrying this behavior on when she gets older. That's all I see. Some of these kids are way out of control, way out of control. Yep, that child probably does the same at home. I can't believe this is new behavior. The grandma would have been arrested for abuse, and that was the thing. That was the exact thing. I kept saying to myself, they'll get her quicker for abuse than she can even want to respond. Like the wrong scare. It would have been different if not she's special needs. We would disappear out from cameras and tour baby would have been all in the automotive section. All in the auto section. You can't put your hands on someone else's child though, but wow. Yeah, that was way too much. I would have kicked her that day for sure. I would say somebody need to snatch her up. My grandmother never hit me, but it would have changed that day if I did that. I know it would have. Oh yeah. Some of us already know. Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna go carry my ass out in a Walmart. Girl, I gotta come to this Walmart again. I'm sure she ain't gonna want to go to that Walmart again. She walking there with that same baby. I'm sure they stop right at the front, ma'am. Listen, we don't want no problems today. All because of your child. All right, so let's get into some really criminal stories here, okay? So our first criminal story comes to us out of none other than Florida. Now, this is a sad, sad story, okay? This man, his name is Domenico Gigante. He's 36 years old. He had a 15-year-old daughter, right, with his ex. And the 15-year-old daughter lived with her mother and her mother's new man. And the mother had her mother living there. So it was like, the grandma, her mom, and her mom man, and her, as well as two other kids, two boys, 6 and 9. Well, the father, he didn't like that. He didn't like the whole new situation. And he didn't like the fact that the daughter told him, I don't want to reconcile. I'm good over here. Stop trying to reach out to me. Stop trying to call me. Stop trying to do all that shit. He didn't like that. So how about on February 28th, as he's sitting in his own house, he tells his roommate, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to go and kill them all. And the roommate looking like, what? Nigga, shut your ass up. And what y'all think he did 2 days later? 2 days later, he goes over to the house, shoots the daughter first, multiple times, goes for the mother, goes for her mother, and then takes out the ex-boyfriend, all in the same room. Now, the 6 and 9-year-old locked themselves in a room. They then called a family friend, like, yo, our parents are dead. We need somebody to come over here. So the man comes over, opens the door, and is like, what? So he calls 911. 911 comes over, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, what happened. And so one of the little boys is like, her daddy. And so they just took from that, they went over to Domenico's house with the roommate, right? So they go over there like, yo, your daughter just got killed. And he was like, what? That's crazy. Here go the roommate. You didn't have nothing to do with that, right? All in front of the police. And the dad says, yeah, I did it. And I said, what? And so then they take him down to the police station where they interview this man. And so he gets interviewed, and basically he tells them he's responsible for the shooting deaths of 4 people inside a Brevard County home. He did it because he was upset over a strained relationship with his daughter, who was one of the victims. Now, what kind of dumb, crazy shit? You're mad about the relationship to the point where you want to take her out? Well, you obviously didn't love or care about her at all. What? I'm sorry. Y'all check this out. Get into this story. I'm like, you never loved your daughter. Who loves somebody so much that you're gonna kill your child because she don't want to have a relationship with you? Have we not heard about therapy? I mean, damn, we be skipping a whole lot
I
of
feel
steps.
for the kids that were in the home and had to witness this. I'm sure it's going to affect them for a really long time. That's what's sad.
The sheriff says the murders were reported early this morning when a young child was able to video call another adult to get help. A 6 and 9-year-old were in the home and survived. They were the children of 2 of the victims. The sheriff says the suspect, Domenico Gigante, was the biological father of the 15-year-old victim and the ex of her mother, who was also killed. The child's grandmother was gunned down too. Sheriff Wayne Ivey comparing the killings to the deadly shooting spree in Orange County last week.
We just saw over in our neighboring county, Orange County, an individual with an extremely violent criminal history that the criminal justice system failed to hold accountable. Here's an individual in our county now that the criminal justice system has failed to hold accountable. And so when's enough?
That suspect has already been charged with 4 counts of premeditated murder. In Brevard County, Connor Hansen, Fox 35 News.
Now, y'all, this is the crazy thing about this story. This man has been charged 4 times. All of them, he should have been held. First was domestic violence back in 2005. Second, do you know he stabbed up, chopped off their head, shot up 2 dogs, animal cruelty in 2008. And then he had an aggravated assault in 2012. And he's out. So somebody should have took him serious along the way. You have 3 generations gone. Do you hear me? That's 3 perspectives, 3 stories gone. That man was mad. And yeah, the criminal justice system there, they absolutely failed this family. You got 2 surviving kids now, 2 boys. It's fucked up. It's crazy. So I guess the courts couldn't help. Like, you couldn't take the court route to go get custody for your daughter to have the special visitation rights. It's so sad. It was extremely sad to me. I said, "Wow, you've taken out just because the poor mother, grandmother. I'm probably sure I ain't got shit to do with that." It's a sad story. Now here's the thing. If y'all think that was sad, this next story is really sad. And I'm gonna tell you now, it's definitely provoking. Okay, so we have a man, okay, and this is coming to us out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We have a man, Jason Shackleford. Now, let me tell y'all this story. Jason Shackleford had already been sent to jail for domestic violence, okay? His mother, his baby mom of 2 of his boys, the only one, right? She, back in 2019, he had beat her really badly in the house while the kids were there and threatened her because she was in so much pain and badly beaten that she had to go to the emergency room. He told her, "You can go, but you better come back here. And if you tell them anything happened, I'm gonna beat you again." So she terrified. That was that. I'm gonna be honest with you in this story. That was your calling number one. That was God calling number one. But she went to the emergency room, she got care, and she went back home to him. That evening, he beat her again. So, a couple of days later, she was finally able to get away from him. This is 2019. She got a restraining order on him, and throughout the years, she tried to live her life, but he would come in and out, beat her, and see it because he got 2 boys with her. And rape her. And he would also do that as well multiple times. So it brings us to now. February 8th, okay, the mother also had a daughter. She had a 12-year-old daughter named Elena, not by him, who also lived with her. So she was at work overnight between February 7th and 8th. She gets a text message while she's at work at 6:45 a.m. from this man that says, "Your daughter is sick and she's not waking up." And so, sick and in bed. And so she immediately goes to the house. Like, what? First of all, he's not supposed to be in her house, but he was there, ma'am. But he was there. So she goes to the house. He don't even let her go to the room to see her baby. He's arguing with her downstairs, beating on her downstairs, all out of nowhere, just attacking her. So then he finally rapes her, then tells her, "Come here," walks her upstairs, opens the daughter's room door to let her see the daughter. She looks in, it's an empty bed. So she closed the door. He closed the door and says, "I got your daughter in New York City. She's safe, but you better come with me." So he forces her to go to this hotel. So she gets to the hotel with him, still like, "Where's my daughter? Where's my daughter?" He's like, "You better keep quiet, or you better stay, or you're not gonna know where your daughter is." So she's at the hotel. He rapes her again. This is the 3rd time now, and she then wants to smoke a cigarette. So he says, "You can go outside and smoke a cigarette." She get outside to smoke a cigarette. Now she takes her calling. Y'all. And the calling's a little too late. She goes to the front desk and tells them to call the police. "I'm being beat and held against my will." Police show up to the unit, to the hotel unit, and that's where they find out everything. He just comes out of his mouth and says, "Yes, I raped her daughter. I killed her daughter." And they arrest him. And that's where the story picks up. And so during their interview, he admitted he raped and killed his girlfriend's 12-year-old daughter on the night of February 8th into the morning of February 9th at a home. He stated he attempted to conceal the victim's body in a freezer in the basement. During an initial search of the home by the Columbia Borough Police Department, police discovered the body of a juvenile female located inside a chest freezer in the basement of the home. Rest in peace, Elena Smith. 12-year-old girl. 12-year-old girl. 12-year-old girl. And everybody, all her friends at the school, everybody said she was a pleasant girl. She loved animals. She was a well-to-do. You could see her personality blossoming. And so it just have so many questions. How did he get into the house, ma'am? Secondly, why didn't you call the police back in 2019? Why didn't you let them know? You had her then. If it wasn't safe for you, you know damn well it wasn't safe for her. Damn well. And is this the first time? Is this the first time this baby has suffered abuse at the hands of this man? Is this the first time? How many times have you been to work late at night and came home and he's either been in your house where you have a restraining order against him and your daughter has her? He was literally, they caught the man. He literally was in her room watching movies. And then he said he just raped her. So additional charges have been filed against him in the killing of the 12-year-old girl after the autopsy. Because see, at first they didn't add these additional charges. They added them after they saw the autopsy and was able to prove that, yes, he did. So he got 1 count of child rape, 2 first-degree deviant sexual intercourse, and 1 felony strangulation. You asshole. You asshole. And so y'all check out this. First, I want y'all to look at this clip of this man. I can't believe it. And y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me too, please.
Well, this is the kind of story you never want to tell. A young girl is raped, then killed, and her body is stuffed in the freezer in the basement of her home, all at the hands of her mother's ex-boyfriend. 39-year-old Jason Shackleford of Columbia is charged in the 12-year-old's death, with police saying he confessed to doing it at her home on the 500 block of Avenue H in Columbia. It happened overnight Wednesday into Thursday while her mother was at work. Police say the child's mother was still working yesterday when she got a text from Shackleford saying her daughter was sick in bed. But when she got home, her daughter was not there. She and Shackleford, who she had recently asked to move out, argued, and he lied, telling her he had taken her daughter to New York. He forced the mother to go to the Wyndham Lancaster Hotel in East Lampeter Township, using her daughter's whereabouts as leverage. But she was able to get away from him and alerted hotel staff to call police, who arrested Shackleford. Tonight, he's in the Lancaster County Prison.
All I can say is rest in peace, Elena Smith. I definitely felt like the mother, this is a part of learning the lesson. It shouldn't have gone down this way at all. But there were so many signs along this way. There clearly were signs along this way. Even when you got engaged with this man. Okay, we get that. I get it. We can't get it. You've already had the kids with him. But then this happens. And now we're here where you've lost your daughter, 12 years old. She was on the cusp of blossoming into a teenager. Couldn't even get that far at all. And now what? He goes to jail. You lost a child. You're going to forever reap this for the rest of your life. And for me, it's never too late to learn a lesson, because it's only now you have those 2 boys to protect. You got to think about the next man in your life. Let this be a lesson. Let it be a lesson. That's all I can say. I just want, that shit is crazy to me, y'all. This shit is crazy to me, crew. She failed. Yes, she absolutely failed those kids. And it's so crazy. It's crazy. It completely crazy. Completely crazy. Now along this lines of, I want y'all to see this, right? So we're gonna get into clips. All right. I want to get into some clips real quick. I want y'all to see this clip of this man, right? He is basically saying how he doesn't, something we always hear all the time, how he has children and children with women. And a lot of times when he has kids with women, he lets them know that he doesn't necessarily want the kids. Where is this? Where is it at? Where is the damn video? Oh, here we go. So I want y'all to check this out. And I want y'all to drop down and let me know what y'all think about this right here.
Choice, but I you calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied. Because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want. And I don't give a fuck what nobody think about it. You're not gonna force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that gonna have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with. Because you're going to be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I done told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? Like, I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability. Yeah, I do. I just don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Like, and so I look at men like that who don't want to take care of their kids, who have a bunch of kids, and I also look at the men who had the 3 and 4 year old, didn't take care of the boys, but was so concerned about this girl. And I say, you have to be careful about the men you fucking date. Some of these men, if it's not said out their mouth, it's shown in their actions. And I'm not trying, this ain't no lesson or nothing like this. Ain't no harp session or none of that. None of that shit. I just hate seeing these stories time and time again about black women and black babies lost at the hands of a baby dad, a father, some figure in their lives. And it's like, okay, every once in a while we get a out the blue situation where it was a great relationship for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden something happened. But more time and time again, more than others, what we see is patterns of abuse. This woman had an abuse with this man since 2019. Who knows how soon that came? And you still allow him in your home? Still questionable. Very questionable. To the point that he could text you and tell you something about your daughter. He could text you. He could text you. He shouldn't have even had your number, which then leads me to believe what else was going on there. And then you got this deadbeat man talking about something he don't give a fuck. But I'll tell you this, he'll probably still get women to sleep with him. He'll still probably get women to sleep with him. I promise you that. He'll still be slinging dick. Promise you. I can't explain it, but I promise you that that'll be what happened. It's just it's just the nature of him first, because he's a fucking predator. He's obviously preying on either weak individuals. That's honestly what it is. How the fuck you got 7 kids? You can't even have a conversation. Yeah, I got 7 kids, 7 different baby mamas. The fuck? So the 8th person, you obviously, like, that man gotta be disgruntled. He gotta be mad at this point. You gotta be a disgruntled, and you don't want to care for none of your kids. The fuck out of here. So women, please be careful about these men y'all date, because yeah, it's cute. Some of the stuff be cute, but when you pull back them layers on that onion, and you get to see them for who they really are, you get this heinous behavior. This is just me behavior. And like I said at the top of the hour, quote, I am choosing and not waiting to be chosen. Choose yourself. Choose yourself. Don't choose to deal with somebody else's fucked up behavior. And on that note, let's please first hit that like button. I know I got 19 folks in here, and thank y'all for rocking. Listen, thank y'all. I appreciate this. Means so much to me. Seeing y'all 19 people rocking with me, seeing the same people I pump with in the chat. This is why we need to bring old school fathers back with their shenanigans to protect their daughters from the kinds of street urchins. You absolutely right. Because that man, I promise you, talking like that, he a pussy. I promise you that. I'm sure because an educated person wouldn't sound like that. You don't. There's no way you don't even sound like you read past the first page. You know what I mean? He gives me back of the book kind of shit. Like, what? Are you kidding me? I'm sure the women he deal with don't know he has 7 kids until after the fact. Yeah, that's a bit much for me. And clearly because he's not putting pictures of them on his pages, so they can't go and do a CIA, a JIA. I wonder where the sons were. I think they were in the home too. The 3 and the 4-year-old. Make no sense. It make no sense. Now, crew, we're gonna get into some quickies and rumors real quick. Just a couple quickies and rumors. Some little some stuff. And we got some clips too. I got this clip about, and I have a question. It's part of a question. Okay, so would you rather your son be gay or in a gang? I know that's a hard reality to ask yourself. Would you rather your son be in a gang or gay? And so we have a man who talks about it. And so that's going to be a part of clip. So y'all stay tuned. I want y'all to hear what he says about this. And there was a lot of debate on Twitter about what this man said, because it's like people would want their child to be in a gang before they live their own reality. And so I'm curious to know what the crew thinks. Now, the first thing I want to get into in quickies and rumors is this whole Michael B. Jordan mania. So Creed has been out over the weekend and it hit 100 million in the box office. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan. A huge feat for him. He did well both in the domestic market and his international market. So shout out to him for that. And I thought it was dope. Now, he also plans on him and Jonathan Majors. They both look so good together. They plan on doing, a De Niro and Pacino in New York Times. In their interview, they basically said they plan to link up. They took it one step further by saying that they're the new like De Niro and Pacino. We're excited about that, and I have those conversations with him. Acting is such a solo journey where you're fighting for your place on the call sheet for such a long time. So when you got somebody that doesn't care as much about that stuff, it's like, let's go. How much damage can we do together? And Majors responds, all of it. So I thought that was cute. I'm glad that they're teaming up. Two attractive black men, very talented. Don't care what nobody says about them linking up. Now, y'all look at these two. So they were being interviewed, and look at the end of the interview what they just focused on solely.
I just want to thank the both of you for taking time out of your day to speak with me. I appreciate the both of you, and I'm just sitting there loving like both your ways. I just hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that.
So much.
Appreciate you. Yes.
Thank you. Y'all still have me stressed with those things.
Thank you.
Gotcha. It's funny because when I be like out in public and I be like seeing like a pretty lady walk by and I'll see a dude, I'll instantly look to see if the dude look, and then 10 times out of 10, the nigga is like and follows. Or if she walks past him and I'm walking, he'll turn around and I'll be like, yeah, it's just the nature of it, you know. Shit, I can't help it too, because there be some shit I've stopped and I'll be like, damn. Or I'll be in the car, maybe I hit that rear view mirror quick. Like, what? If you walking by, I hit it quick. So I understand. Um, as long as it's you know, she didn't feel any harassment or anything like that. As long as she didn't feel like she was ostracized, or and this was all behind the scenes, not on the cameras. And I thought that was a funny moment. Something else in Quickies and Rumors is, so it's official. I mean, if nothing other, it is official. Quavo and Offset, Migos is pretty much done. They went to an NBA game, which my thing is, if y'all gonna go separately, like y'all not cool or nothing, why even go together? So they showed up separately at the same event. Quavo is over here chilling with his children. Offset over here looking like a bitter hoe. I'm like, what is the problem? I'm gonna take Quavo. I switched around. Quavo, what is the problem? Quavo is looking bitter as hell. Offset look like he's just chilling with his kids. And I don't know what it is, but it's clearly that they're not coming back from whatever that case may have been. So it is what it is. Another thing, Shaka Khan. Y'all remember we was just talking about Shaka Khan snapping off on the girls. Well, she done came back out here and she done apologized. She says, recently I was asked about a list of the greatest singers of all times. And instead of questioning the need for such a list, I was pitted against other artists and I took the bait. As artists, we are unfairly put into bosses, categories, or lists. Being an artist or musician is not a competition. It's a gift for which I am grateful. It was not my intention to cause pain or upset anyone. To anyone that felt this way, I sincerely apologize. I said, too fucking late. Girl, the damage is done. You said that shit. Girl, you said it. We have audio. Shaka, you said that. And you didn't just say it. You said that. Okay, she she said that. That shit you said about Ariana Grande, you can't take that back. The shit you said about Mary J. Blige, you and Adele, you can't take none of that back. Don't double. No, you should have just came on there. Look, I said what I said. If anybody felt offended, I apologize. I didn't want to offend you, but I wanted to express myself. What is wrong with leaning towards the truth? Y'all gonna get enough of lying, because now you're gonna have to always walk around like, hi y'all. That ain't you. Just be you. Shaka. I didn't like this for Shaka. I wanted her to keep that same fucking energy. Talking about, so let's move into some TV stuff. So recently, Robert Townsend came out and was talking about the remake of Baps. And he said that Cardi B and Megan reached out to him interested in doing the remake. And he was like, he's excited, he's all for it, blah, blah, blah. You know, a lot of people want to do it, but he won't be a part of it. He don't want to do it. And he said he doesn't want to do it because Natalie Tressely Reed, when she passed away, he lost his spirit for the movie. He likes it how it is. If anyone wants to take it and pick it up from there, he has no problem. Of course, he wants to be a part of his project, but he has no sort of no interest in doing it whatsoever. So I said, "Aw," because I did want to see a Baps remake with those two. I think that'd be cute, but he doesn't have any interest. But he said he loves the fact that it's so iconic. People still love it. He loved when they did the video. So shout out to him. Another movie that's coming to TV is The Wash. Now, I love The Wash, the movie. I loved all of those kind of movies. Those The Wash, the Fridays. I remember a movie called Ride. I love all those kind of movies. Belly, like those. I love those kind of movies. And so they're gonna turn The Wash into a TV series coming out, I think, this fall. And they have been talking about this since December, but now the green lit has been lit. The light has been lit. So they're gonna move forward with that. So be looking for that in your theaters. And what else do we have in Quickies and Rumors? So Travis Scott, not only did he fuck up the sound engineer, you know, rough him up, he also took a fan's phone just like minutes before he did something with the engineer and threw it in the crowd. And so you see Travis Scott here at the DJ booth taking somebody's phone and threw it and broke and cracked the man's screen. And now the man is out here talking. And I'm like, Travis, come on. Come on. It's like, you're the last. What's up? Why you got what's up? Get security. Get somebody else to do that. Give a wink. Hey, get him, remove him. Why you feel compelled? You are already in shit behind your name. Now he got a chance to perform at Rolling Loud this weekend. We talked about that. He had a chance to perform at Rolling Loud this weekend, which was, he had his time cut though. It was cut because I said they cut his time because they didn't want to get rowdy. But he was running out of time at the show. So he did get a chance to perform at Rolling Loud. So Travis, you starting to annoy me too. You're not counting your lessons and your blessings, sir. All right, now let's get into some clips here. So can you imagine that the person who had been bullying you all your fucking life, well, in school, turns out to be some huge public figure working in your community? I said, isn't this karma? Well, check this shit out. So this man, right, he got an opportunity to confront his bully that made him almost want to commit suicide. But it's not the confrontation. It's where and how this happened. And I said, this is what everybody wants. This is what I call karma. When you were the person picked on and you got the moment now, you got the chance, the opportunity to clap back. So check this clap back moment out.
Around and find out.
My legal name is Greg Gay. I was bullied. One day at lunch, I had my head shoved in the urinal. It busted my lip. I had laid on the ground in a fetal position as the kids kicked me. Well, I went home and I got the 45 out of my father's drawer and put it in my mouth. I had nobody in the school system to help me. Lance, you were the one that shoved my head in the urinal. Mr. Thank you.
I will resign and retire as superintendent of KDISD.
And that's what needs to happen. This is why it's always important to expose people at whatever level they can. How you the fucking superintendent? You run around here being a bully your damn self. Yeah, I know people always say, what comes to bite you shouldn't really, I was a child back then. Yeah, but you got to think about that shit. I even think about some shit I did as a child. Like, damn, okay. I think about my brother, my little baby brother, before he, passed away. I think when he was 9, he was in kindergarten playing. Not kindergarten, was in some class or whatever, but he stabbed a girl in the eye with a pencil. And I remember that and remember him getting in trouble. I remember the whole scene. I remember all of that. And we all were like, I just was like old enough to know, like, wow, you did what? You have to live with shit like that, and that would probably carry him forever. But it was at a very young age. I'm sure either that person probably won't remember, but this person did. And like he should have, he brought that shit forward. And the man resigned. And that was his last day. You get what you sow. You reap what you sow. Now, I asked you all a question. If you had to make a choice, if your child be in a gang or be gay, how difficult of that choice it would be to make a choice? Well, you have this black father here who had that decision in front of him. And in his mind, his choice was, well, you can be in a gang, but we don't do that shit over here in my house. And I was just like, wow. Now, the son is gay. And the father, didn't want to really believe it until he was told. And then when he found out, it became, you're in a gang and you're gay. Wow. So, but it turns into an interesting story. So check this out. And shout out to the crew for being here with me this moment.
Understand, where is this coming from? You could be in a gang and have a boyfriend. You could speak on it. It's 2023.
His son was he struggling with the bisexuality or being gay?
Nah, so what happened was when he moved down here and he went to his high school, that was a thing. Like, you could be in a gang and have a boyfriend. And I'm old school, so you're not doing that in my house. And so when I found out, this was the first time he actually opened up to my wife because he's so secretive. So when she told me, That's when I came to work the next day. I was hot. And Joe was like, turn it down, bro, turn it down. I was angry, but at the same time, I was trying to figure out how to navigate because it's still my son. I met the little boy, whatever he was choosing to be. I rapped with both of them. I met the dude father, I rapped with him, and we talked. Kind of like the same thing I did with my wife. I wanted to...
So, as you can see, he ended up having to accept it, having to accept the fact that yes, his son was in a gang that he was okay with. Yes, his son is now gay. Shame on the wife for outing his secret to his father, because he didn't want his father to know at that time, but she told him, and it forced his father to have to deal with it. And he's now to a point where he's met the other son, he's met them both, and it's weird to him that they're both in a gang and they're both gay. To me, it's interesting to see these kind of dynamics because I'm always interested to see how fathers are. You know, I didn't have my dad to even have this kind of conversation, to hear anything of what he thought. All I know was he wasn't, really having a gay son. So to see this, I'm like, this is how it turns out. You have to deal with it. You gonna kill your son? You gonna shun your son? What, you gonna tell them they can't come to your house no more because they're gay? That's what you're gonna do? Is that really the right thing to do? Black man, you're gonna put your son out. And so I saw this and I gave the man some props. I know it started out wrong, but I gave the man some props. I gave him some props because I do think respect is warranted. That's your child, that's your fucking blood. You might as well accept them. And I was reading in some comments by saying that most parents should also start taking this stuff up with the schools. What they're supposed to do in the high schools besides do what they normally do. They can't have gay kids come to high schools anymore. It's a slippery slope. Only thing you can do is raise your own fucking child. That's how I feel. Raise your own child. Oh, thank you. Thank you, bro. Raise your own child. And shout out to the father needed to know. He needed to know. I thought this was going to go another way. It didn't. I did too. I didn't. And you see how stigmatized we are? Because I absolutely did too. And the father came right along. He had to come right along. I wish my dad would have saw some shit like this. Like, you ain't got no choice but to come right along. What I can't ever see you no more. So, all right. And shout out to the crew. Now we finna get into hot topics. And we got 1 hour and 27 minutes. Oh, we got good timing. Crew, I can pace myself and slow down a little bit. Thank y'all. Thank you. How do you be angry about someone else's sexuality? What someone do in the bedroom ain't none of my business. As a mother, I am put here to love you unconditionally. Good morning, Kingsman. And yes, I absolutely believe that because honestly, too, in some of these stories we've been hearing about parents, they've done some stuff that, somebody should have stopped their ass and told them no, that you shouldn't be getting involved with, which is far worse. Some parents have passed. So your past should be overlooked because you're straight, but because I'm gay, I'm now just a bad person. Fuck my past. Like, it becomes a huge dichotomy, especially in these churches. That's why I be like, I don't be giving nobody my coin. I be looking twice, like, let me look and see what this church is about before I give my coin out. You notice we don't really do a lot of religious organizations, nonprofits and stuff, because I'm very skeptical of people, because I truly feel like a lot of people really in their soul believe that, homophobia. I truly believe it. And so I just set it aside. Hence why you have certain people who are like YouTube pastors that may live, separate lives and then have to get outed because of the fact that in their profession, they know that it's very rampant that you have to be, you living in sin, you're going to always be in sin. So it's, some people may dub it same gender loving just to cover up for the fact that, no, you're a homo, you're gay, and to them that might be, I'm sin, I'm living in sin. But are you, are you no different than anybody else? What about your past? What are you doing now in your future? How are you carrying yourself on this earth? Let's talk about that. There's so many other factors that go into defining a person and who they are. The fact that the one thing that people think will define me at the pearly gates is who I sleep with, then makes me turn the question on them. Who the fuck have you slept with? Are you married? Are you living a happy and prosperous life? And are you cheating? That's a sin. You get the baby, I get to going. That's why I don't be hanging like around a lot of religious folks, because it's just like, are you kidding me? Some of you all don't even have, like, you just making it by day. So worried about what other folks got going on that when you look into your own lives, you're making it day by day. Literally, you have no wiggle room to take. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm saying this in the real world. This is, do less focusing on other people and what the fuck they got going on in their bedrooms and what you got going on in yours, because I'm telling you, ain't no way I couldn't. Exactly. Now, let's move into hot. Dun, dun, dun. So let's get into hot topic. So Deion Sanders got his ass in a lot of heat, and this is the problem, because I feel I'm upset with him about this shit too. Because the thing is that if a white person said the shit that Deion Sanders said, baby, we all would be up in flames. Everybody would be, arms would be up, people would be mad. But because it's a black man saying it, it's okay. The white coaches are standing behind him. Everybody's standing behind him like, you right. I'm glad you said it. You, at least you put it out there. And I'm sitting back like, bitch, what? Are you kidding me? You said this shit? So yeah, we got Deion Sanders, okay? Black America reacts to Deion Sanders' comment on targeted recruitment of smart quarterbacks from dual parent households. So Deion Sanders brought his face as, now after I just gave you props on moving, doing your thing, and people shouldn't be mad at you because you're going to get the bag, and when you get to go to another predominantly white institution, a PWI, it makes it opens the door for another black coach to go and move. You opening doors. But you ain't opening doors doing this kind of shit. You make me have to dial back. You're not opening doors doing this shit. So I don't know if you all have heard the comment or the statement, but listen into what he says is his recruitment strategy, specifically when recruiting players for his teams. And I was just like, wow, I expect this from white coaches, but I didn't think you was carrying the baton too, nigga. The fuck? Did you forget your skin?
Different. Yeah. We want mother, father, dual parent. We want that kid to be 3, 5 and up, because he's got to be smart. Not bad decisions off the field at all, because he has to be a leader of men. It's so many different attributes in what we look for. Physical, offensive lineman. Defensive lineman is totally opposite.
What do you mean?
Single mama. Trying to get it. He's on free lunch. I'm talking about just trying to make it. He trying to rescue mama. Like mama barely made the flight.
Are you kidding me? I didn't find no humor in that. You up there joking around. Now, let's be real. Let's be honest. Okay, in college football, who fits the stereotype of a single mother, barely making it, can't make the fight? Who he talking about? Why don't you just go and say, yeah, for our defensemen, we want black men? Why don't you go say that shit? Because you don't think you can be canceled because you on top right now, nigga, but you can be canceled. I'm telling you. You got like 2 more slip-ups. Mark my words here on KRN. You got 2 more slip-ups, Deion Sanders, and you will be canceled, bro. I don't care how well you think you perform, but you gotta watch the fuck you say. Your recruitment strategy for your quarterbacks, they got to be pristine. A 2-parent household. So what does that say about the man from the 1-parent household who really making it, doing good, high achieving in high school, high achieving in college, doing the right things because his single parent gave him a good path? Maybe the father passed away. Who knows? But because of that, he's already knocked out of being in your quarterback lineup. You sound crazy in the head. And I wish you would have come from a single parent home, because I looked it up. I tried to say, nigga, you can't talk. I wish you would have came from one so somebody could have ran this scheme on your ass. So we see how far you are. How dare you? How dare you say some dumb shit like that? And for black men auditioning for his team that do come from a single parent home that wants to be on a quarterback spot, my arms go out to y'all. Like, bro, I'm sorry that he said this shit. Keep your head up. Encourage. Still try out. Still do what you can. But that's our own kind saying this shit amongst some other folks, the hosts. That shit pissed me off. Like, what are you doing? You think you're carrying a baton? You're not carrying a baton. This is not carrying a baton.
Different. Yeah. We want mother, father, dual parent. We want that kid to be 3, 5 and up because he's got to be smart. Not bad decisions off the field at all because he has to be a leader of men. It's so many different attributes in what we look for. Physical, offensive line. My defensive line is totally opposite.
What do you mean?
Single mama. Trying to get it. He's on free lunch. I'm talking about just trying to make it. He trying to rescue mama. Like mama barely made the flight.
Yeah. So we'll see. Right now, it's a lot of different comments on Twitter. A lot of people saying that this was wrong. People saying they already did not mess with him. Some folks were saying if a white coach said this, he'd be rightfully exonerated for it. This isn't a new thought process. Most coaches aren't smart enough to say it out loud. Deion Sanders looks for dual parent homes and quarterback recruits, single mama households, and defense linemen. Pastor Sanders doesn't want quarterbacks from single parent homes. I am not sure how you all support this clown. And then half these comments by Sanders on recruiting quarterbacks versus defense linemen are interesting. They highlight how much the violent nature of football preys on Black poverty and desperation for certain positions like defense linemen, regardless of the color of the head coach. Yeah, the defense linemen will take all the heat. They'll take all the force. Yeah, they just hungry to be on the field. They'll protect and block and do all that good stuff. That is so... You giving me Jim Crow. You giving me all kind of bad vibes. I really didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. You got to do better, sir. You got to do better. Now, Chris Rock. I want to just touch on this really, really briefly. Chris Rock, I don't know if you all saw Selective Outrage. I actually watched it. I'm going to be honest. I guess because we talked about it on Friday, I was just really waiting for him to get to Will Smith. So all of the other jokes, I was just, it hit and it missed. I didn't really die laughing and bust out into tears. But then he got to Will Smith, and it just felt like they were things that he'd been wanting to say. Like it was stale. Like he had been saying it for so long behind the scenes and practicing and rehearsing for this moment that by the time he got there, it just didn't fall for me. The jokes didn't land for me, the Will Smith jokes. I heard it. Yeah, I'm glad. I hope you either going to build upon what you said or like leave it alone because, the one thing that stuck out the most though was the fact that he said he only wanted to watch Emancipation to see Will Smith be beat by a white man. So when he did that, Black Twitter got to uncovering footage. So they uncovered this footage of our dear Chris Rock sitting amongst, who is it? Louis C.K., Ricky Gervais, and Jerry Seinfeld. Y'all check this out and see, and you tell me who is wrong now.
Negative things we think about black people. This fucker.
You're saying I'm a nigger?
Yes, you are the niggerest fucking white man I have ever.
Amazing. I don't think he could do that.
Oh,
what?
I don't think he has those
There's
qualities.
only two. You don't even understand.
Really?
You don't really know him. Like I've worked with him.
No, like your bit about.
I wouldn't use it anywhere.
No, exactly. These two.
We say nigger on stage.
On stage.
You guys don't. That's
That's
two
the
teams
That's
here.
the difference between.
That's right. That's right. We say nigger on stage. You guys don't.
But that's definitely a pairing. Who says nigger on stage? We don't.
Well, you just did.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
You and me say nigger in private.
No.
These two guys don't. I don't believe he says it in private.
I've given it up just because it's played.
I don't believe it's.
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever said it probably in your life. No. Yeah, that's it. That's the huge difference between you and me, I think.
Well,
you
found the humor of it.
Yeah.
I haven't found it.
Right.
Nor do I seek it.
Right.
I mean,
so I'm going to find a way. Find a way.
Can I squeeze?
You know what though, Jerry? All of a sudden, having a great nigger bit would be pretty amazing.
Yeah,
it would be amazing.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Because he retired it.
Black Twitter said, "Oh, you want to talk about you want to see Will Smith? Well, explain this." And the only person that came out in that footage looking good was Jerry Seinfeld. Now, mind you, I never saw this show, and honestly, during those times, I wasn't checking for Chris Rock. I wasn't, nor was I checking for Jerry Seinfeld or Louis C.K. or Ricky Gervais. I didn't even like the Seinfeld show. I'm going to say it. I know a lot of people like it. I do not watch the Seinfeld show. I just can't get into it. It's not the kind of humor for me. I don't know. I got a friend who loves it. I'm like, ugh. And like Rose, I don't get it. I just don't. I couldn't get into Living Single for a long time. Then I finally loved Living Single. So just wasn't a show for me. But to see him sit there so comfortably and just have this conversation. Now we know it's before the woke days, but to have this conversation and then double back and say, yeah, you want to see him get whipped, it don't set well, Chris. And again, I said this on Friday. I said what we're seeing here evolve is karma. Karma is taking its place. And I said it's happening on two fronts. You got Chris Rock coming out here at the expense of Will Smith's pain. You got Will Smith out here showing face at the expense of something wrong he did, but he's still showing face and he's still being positive and doing the right thing. And I tell y'all, if you do the right thing, the right shit happens. So he did something wrong, but to correct it, you got to do the right thing. So he's just moving. Now, mind you, you got Chris Rock. I'm going to be hyped on the fact that, I got hit. And I'm going to dog this man. Might not be the right way to respond. It might have been the classier thing for you to do is move on. But no, you chose to dig a hole. And what happens when you do the wrong thing? The wrong shit happens. And so you get all this other stuff coming out. So even in that show, the live show, he started it off by saying, I can't say much stuff because I don't want to offend folks and I don't want to be offensive. Because you're starting to learn your lesson. Well, I hope now you can say some shit, but you can't just be saying all kind of shit, Chris. That was a lot. I was sitting there looking, I said, damn, I didn't even know this. What? I said, wow, whoa, okay, we doing this now? Okay, all right now. I've been canceled, Chris Rock. The only thing he goes for is playing a crackhead. Will shook something loose on Chris when he slapped his ass. Okay, 911, what is your emergency? I love Jerry Seinfeld. Why are they baiting him? And you saw Jerry Seinfeld was like, I'm not going, and I'm not trying to find out why it's okay to say. Okay, like what? Di made me pop off my press. Didn't he go too far? The fuck you talking about? No, this was the moment Will should have slapped him. Now, if any moment he'd have slapped him, and we all would have been like, on behalf of the community, Chris Rock is trash. Now, Will would be wrong if he slapped his ass again. You think? I think what we're starting to see is both of them. Because Chris ain't playing this right. Chris had it all in his hand. He's not playing it right. He's going too far. It's like, and that's why I said it sounded like he should have been cracked these jokes. He waited too long. Now you want to start doing it. Now all of a sudden you should have did this shit a little bit sooner, closer to the event. Because now it's like they're falling flat. It's like, okay. He tried to shift victim playing a victim role into Will Smith. And that's why it's titled Selective Outrage. How you mad about this, but you ain't mad about all these people who've been dogging you out for all these years? You gonna hit me? Well, you you should have been hit. Now that's the tone that people are carrying now, Chris. You should have been hit. They already didn't like the emancipation statement, but then you add this. So I don't know. He should have slapped him till he thought he was on the Underground Railroad. He should have. He do need a history lesson. And even, let me say this about the show. Even in the show, I felt like it was very tasteless of him to keep talking about how well-to-do his family was and how well-to-do his kids were. Yeah, I took my kids out the hood. They don't know nothing about that. And they're doing, my daughter's in Paris. It's one thing to celebrate your family, but it's another thing to be a little bit, a little too boastful. For me, I felt like for what you're doing, comedy, you're bragging more about yourself than making a comedic sensation out of it. Now, he did talk about his daughter having some issue in school and he went and got her kicked out of school. And here I go. I said, that's privilege stuff. None of the people in the audience can relate to this. First of all, you're in Baltimore. you're at the Hippodrome. Like nobody can like you got to. I'm sitting here thinking like, okay. Then he talking about, when I came to Baltimore, I looked around, I did my research, and I'm sitting here looking like, Chris, all right. It was okay. I was telling my friend, I was like, it's okay to me. I mean, it's dragging. It was dragging a bit. I kept pausing it, going to get me something to eat. Where is Tony Rock at? Come get your brother. He has never been funny. Just on some of his movies, he would try to ride this Oscars coattail issue forever, and now we see it. Yes, and please hit that like button. Please hit that like button for me. Please hit that like. I hope at least, given the crowd that we had today, I hope at least I got like 20 likes. At least 20 likes, y'all. All right, let's keep moving. So the next thing I want to talk about is my boo, Nicki Minaj. So Nicki Minaj has started a new fucking label, and it's about time. She already had Pink Friday Records, so I don't know if she's rebranding that label as something else, but she did have an imprint under Young Money. And so now with her being with Republic, I don't know if they're giving her a new imprint, but she does have a label now. She signed these 4 artists: London Hill, Butt Naked, and that's not Butt Naked. His real name is Tate Cobain, Nana Fofidi, and Rico Dana. And Nana Fofi, I think she's a Nigerian singer, I want to say, but she's a international singer. And I like them all, but I specifically like this girl here, London Hill. Now she's a Brooklyn rapper. She got like sort of a that flair like Nicki. Y'all just hear what Nicki
I'm not
said.
gonna announce the name. Well, I have a record label now.
Whoa!
And because I believe so strongly in loyalty, and because I've spent my whole life giving to others that turn around and shit on me, Patty Duke is the first A&R on my label.
Oh my God.
Aw. So shout out to her. Now I love London Hill. She's a female MC. Dope. Check out just a little bit of her.
Lowercase bitches gotta take the caps off. I'm the winning ticket, never need a scratch off. If they ever box me in, then I'm getting a pack toss. Colder than a snowman, like I'm fucking Jack Frost. I got a body of art, Mona Lisa effect. Shout out to my surgeon, holy nigga, I let curve me for the check. Went from dog in every spot, now this little miss. #1, spitting straight heat with the vets. Nobody on my pen, but when I push it, it's murder. Treat a hoe like fake page and clap a bitch through the burner. This is the London Bridge, and they would never get further. And I heard of bum bitches that I may never heard of. Birds fly once and start coming for they heroes. Bottom of the pyramid, never sit with the pharaohs. They walk away with scars cause they lying in a fight. Off brand.
Yeah, I like her. I said, oh, you did a good job signing her. I like her. I like the fact that she has a flow. Sound like she has a heavy pen game, and she also has she can switch her flow up. She can add a little, I want to say it's a Haitian, but it may not be Haitian. I don't know, but she has another flow on her. So I like that. Now, Nicki Minaj also released Red Ruby the Sleaze. Okay, Red Ruby the Sleaze. Who the fuck told bitches they was me now? Okay? Bitch, when I tell you I was riding in the car, who the fuck told bitches they was me now? It's to the beat of Luma D's. Honestly, I remember that song. And I said this is good because what she's doing is people in that era, they're also liking the song because of that beat. A lot of times they do that. Cardi B's known for it, and Kanye West is known for it. And you bring back those people out, even if they don't like rap, that beat, and then of course radio's gonna flow it into Luma D. And so you got a whole wave. Can we hear this song just because of that song? So it's a good move to get her buzz back out here. Now people are going to say that she dissed Megan Thee Stallion. Did she diss Megan Thee Stallion? Yeah, she dissed Megan Thee Stallion. I'm telling you, yeah, she did it. She threw it all Meg way, and I liked it too. It was great wordplay. So she's like 700 on them horses when we fixing to leave, but I don't fuck with horses since Christopher Reeve. And she take a huge pause. It'd be like, pause. I said, oh, she want people to understand she's talking about her. Then she goes on, Dorito bitches mad they not chose. And she says nachos. Like Dorito bitches mad because they nachos. And Megan has a deal with Doritos, and also nachos sounds like nachos. And so I'm like, yeah, she did. She threw a little dig at Meg. But I also felt like there was other digs at other folks throughout the whole record. I like Red Ruby the Sleeves. I like it because she gave me pure rap. I like when she raps. I told you when she kicks a song off and she does nothing but rapping, I'm all in, bitch. You got me. That's why I didn't get into Super Freaky Girl. But this got me. She also came out at Rolling Loud with Wayne. He brought her back out and reinstated that she is the queen. And I'm not gonna stand right now, but she is the queen.
Ladies and gentlemen, no need of an introduction. The motherfucking queen.
The motherfucking queen. I'm loving the little dude too. So shout out to Nicki Minaj. New label, new artist, new single out. Performed at Rolling Loud. I think it's good. I think this is a great way to start bringing yourself back out here and back into the, the relevancy. Get back in here. You ain't got to be messy. You ain't got to tweet shit. Do this. Put out a single. Get your artist going. Get your album ready because we ready. I like this. I like this lane. Market and Nikki, I like this for you. I don't want you beefing with these other bitches. Please. No, I don't mean to call them bitches, but rap bitches. Please. Please, please, please. So shout out to Nicki Minaj. Now, the last story I want to talk about is this Ja Morant. This is crazy because this man has been making some very difficult decisions. So if you don't know, Ja Morant, he plays for what, Memphis? And he over the weekend was streaming on IG Live. I guess he was out at a club or something, a party. And he pulled out a gun on IG Live and was brandishing it on the camera. Now, people got pictures of it. I'm not gonna post a picture of him in a gun, but people got pictures of it and they started posting it up around social media. So the team got word of it and they gave him a 2-game suspension. Well, now they've just come out here and said that, well, it ain't really gonna be a 2-game suspension. It might be for a while. So apparently,
this is a reminder to drink water.
I knew you was gonna do that. He says, I take full responsibility for my actions last night. I'm sorry to my family, teammates, coaches, fans, partners, the city of Memphis, and the entire Grizzlies organization for letting you down. I'm going to take some time away to help and work on learning better methods of dealing with stress and my overall well-being. Now, it's crazy because you would think that this man would have learned his lesson. This is not the first incident. So he had an incident at the mall, right? His mom was at the mall. She got into it with the security guard. She called him up. He shows up. He shows up with like 9 dudes, right? And they start getting into a scuffle with the security guard. I'm like, how fucking ghetto. And you're a basketball player and you showed up too. So he does it. He shows up as well. The police show up. They tell them to disband, but they couldn't disband without pushing the security officer. So they pushed the security officer. So he already got this on his belt. The NFL, the NBA team, they looked at this. They do know about this. They are aware of the situation because anything you do under contract, they are alerted. Then the next thing is over the summer. What the hell? About to have a choking attack. Then over the summer, he's hosting a basketball like sort of camp or game at his house, and he has a mentee there. And so the mentee and him, I end up getting into it, and then he pushes the mentee. And so the mentee is passing the ball, and he does it so hard that it hit Jay Morant in the head. And Jay Morant whispers to another guy, should I do it? He goes over and punches the boy in the head like 12 times. The boy ends up telling him, "We gonna come back and pull up on your place and light this whole bitch up." I'm like, what kind of hood shit y'all got going on? And so that's already been pending. Now they dropped that and they dismissed the charges because they couldn't find any evidence on John Morant. But John Morant filed a restraining order against the young man, saying that he's threatened his life. So you got all these incidents. You think that would be enough, right? Well, that ain't it. How about the Pacers put out something on this man? Because the Pacers come out here and say new allegations come fresh off of a previous controversy involving Jay Morant. Apparently, after an altercation between associates of Morant and the Pacers, a red laser was pointed at the team from an SUV that was carrying Morant, which the Pacers believe was a gun. So not only are you out here doing other stuff to other people, you're fucking with internally other teams, putting a red laser beam at another team in the bus, and it was coming from your vehicle. The fuck is wrong with you? And here we go, a privileged man. Memphis Grizzlies, that's the team. I'm sorry. Then on January 20th, he gets into a verbal altercation with Shannon Sharp during the halftime against the Los Angeles Lakers. So we got a big issue with this man. We have said that it's going to be at least these 2 games. I mean, this is going to be an ongoing healing process. It's really not a timetable situation. They're focusing on supporting him through what's going on to be a difficult process, but they want to hold him accountable for his actions. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, the theme of our show, which I left on this story is that when you don't learn the lessons of your own mistakes and shit that happened to you in your life, and you just think you can just keep doing shit, eventually shit catches up to you. Every shit catches up to you. There's no reason why you are a millionaire and you're on Instagram Live waving a gun. That makes no sense to me. You have nothing better to do. Who are you proving yourself to? What? Like what's going on? So now you have fucked up. You probably have fucked up your career. Because we don't know if you'll come back. We don't know what'll happen. But at this point, this is a stain in your career. So they're saying that they want him to go get help, counseling, figure it out. Here I go. Is it a little too late? Like, can he come back? I hope he can. You got to think about it. You have fans, you have children that watch you. They have a NBA has a reputation to protect, and you out here doing this kind of shit. So, John Morant, I don't feel bad for what's going on for you, but I do want you to learn from your lessons, bro. You definitely are making difficult decisions and poor choices. Let me see. Hero, let's be careful, man. You might need to take a couple minute breaks. Okay, I was joking. Yeah, Kanye did that with that Through the Wire, and my mother loved that song. Shout out to Shaka Khan, right? And Shaka Khan mad because she said I ain't get nothing from it. She was mad about it. She was mad about it. And shout out to y'all. And remember, y'all. Remember, if anything, man, I am choosing and I'm not waiting to be chosen. Take your risk on yourself. Choose you, y'all. And thank y'all. I appreciate it. We had another good show. Look at it. It's an hour and 58 minutes. I had 2 minutes left. Thank y'all, crew. It's been good. I didn't come live yesterday because I stayed the night out Saturday night. Me and Eli, we stayed the night at my friend's house. We was helping him with his yard and shit. And you already know about my ankle. So I ended up staying the night out there. And I didn't get back home till like 1 in the afternoon. And so by the time I got home, I ended up cleaning up my house. I made a nice dinner. It was so good yesterday. It was so good that I wanted to call somebody over just to get some. Like I want, like somebody else has to eat this with me. It was really good. I had some lemon olive oil that got lemon extract in it, and I put it in a pan, onions, red peppers, parsley, potatoes, and carrots. And then I added some seasoned chicken, and I let the meat get brown. I let everything brown and get really, really nice and like how I like it. Because I like my chicken brown and then soft. Then I added like a cup of water, 2 cups of water to the pot, and it just made this. It's almost like it just blossomed. I added broccoli at the last minute so it could just steam up. So it was just like, I don't know, it's really good. It's good as fuck. It tastes so good. I felt like I was in one of those restaurants where you just like they make your trays, you put rice, and then they add like a dish on top of it. So this shit is good. So it was good. I said I told my friend I would bring her some, the one who watches my dog, for me today. And Eli's been cool. I locked his ass up though this morning. I'm about to go get him, and we got to go run. But thank y'all for coming through. You might need to start a cooking show, man. Okay, I'm gonna do that when I move. I gotta do that when I move. I need way more counter space than I have currently. Like, it's no way I could do it with the way my counter is set up now, because it's like a U. And so it's just not, it just won't work. I tried to do a video and it was just one counter. It just, I can't. Crew, thank y'all for being here today. Each and every last one of y'all. Bobby, Kingsmina, Wildcat. Look at y'all to the end. Zap. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for this. Brick Girl. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate the love and the support unconditionally. I will see y'all on Wednesday, same time. Well, hopefully, I don't know, but 6:30, between 6:30 and 8. I'll be trying to get up earlier and do it. But I'll see y'all again. We'll be back live again. We'll be talking our shit. And to the replay crew, if you made it this far, thank you so much. Please hit that like button for me. Give me a little like. Give me an algorithm. And until next time, Hot Spicy Tea, I see you, boo. Thank you. And until next time, crew. Until next time. Deuces.
Good morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go. Oh, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News.
Let's go. Hey, let's start this show. Oh.